Thank you. Thank you for waiting patiently. So we have saved the best for the last. It's actually the last slot for the day. Mr. Krishnadeva is no stranger for us. He has been with us earlier also. He's a veteran in the field, academic and technical cybersecurity. Over 1,500 students he has trained, backed up by 10 years of experience in the industry. He's a lecturer at APIIT, University of Kelaniya, and SLIATE also. He's an active researcher in IT information security with numerous national and international publications and research supervision. So please pay your kind attention. And if you have any questions, please feel free. He's a very interactive and friendly person. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you, the organizers, for that kind introduction, right? So I think we could start now. We have the expected crowd that okay. So new trends in cybersecurity, right? And also this language is not a barrier, right? Even we can use all three languages and get the concept. So if you have any anything it's not clear for you, please let me know. I'm good at all three languages because we are Sri Lankans ultimately, right? So so don't make this language as a barrier. Get the content, and also this cybersecurity is not just for education. What people have thought is, especially in Sri Lanka, whatever we learn just to earn. That mindset is not healthy. Yes, we should earn also, but learning is not only for earning. Learning actually shapes our life. Learning makes our decisions perfect. Not only in education-wise, right? Anything. For example, if you want to pick a food in the canteen, if you have learned the necessary things, you would pick the right one, right? Whether it's nutritious, whether it's relevant, right? Whether it's good for this particular condition, climate, you pick the right one and have it. For that, so if I say only the food and nutrition student could learn that, it might be a stupid move. Everyone should know that. So that's going to anyway shape our life. Similar to cybersecurity. Cybersecurity is not a field where only a person is interested in cyber and a person who is going to pursue a career in cyber, or the person who is going to do something on cyber are the only people. If they want to learn cyber, then that's not the case. I'll tell you a simple example, right? Now you can answer that question, right, after this example. There's something called road safety, right? How many of y'all think, right, road safety, we all have to learn road safety, the safety rules in the road. You should know the signs. You should know where to cross the road. You should know to identify, right, different things on the road, what you should do, what you shouldn't do. If you do in this way, you will meet with an accident. If you drive in this way, you would meet with an accident. Once you have met with an accident, what you supposed to do? So my question is road safety only for a particular person? How many people think the road safety is only for the people who have vehicles? How many people think road safety is only for the people, only for the pedestrians who just, walk on the road? That's not the case, right? Everyone who uses the road should know about road safety. Then it would be a healthy Sri Lanka. Now everyone know the rules and regulation. Everyone would, respect the rules and regulation, and they would adhere. Why? Why we all have to adhere to road safety? To avoid problems, accidents. So the similar story at cybersecurity. Cyber means, I don't know why they have used this cyber security word. I think to pull crowd. Cyber security. Cyber is ultimately what? Internet. Internet security. So who have to learn about internet security? The people who uses internet. every users of the internet should learn internet security. What do you say? Yes, it's a must. Like we all have to know road safety, we all have to know about internet safety, internet security. Internet security is another fancy term to make it cyber security. So we all are using internet a lot, right? We are surfing internet. We have felt the importance of internet when during the COVID-19 period. Could you all remember? Internet was only the option we had for everything. For education, we had only the internet because you know the problem. We are Sri Lankans, we have faced this. But we did it well. Internet for education, like Zoom, Microsoft Teams, we used to learn through them. Even school students did that. Zoom was only relief they had at that time. And for watching a movie, Netflix, right? We couldn't go for the cinema halls and all. Making a food, again a YouTube video. Sometimes we might have, quarantined in somewhere. Even we haven't gone to kitchen, but we have been quarantined, so we have to make something for us to eat. And ordering something, again, all these pick me and all these food items. Transportation, again, food, again, internet, and especially transactions, banking transfers and all. Once again, internet. Apps, for everything we use apps. So what you can say, for anything, internet was the solution. So now we are used to that. Now, though we don't have this COVID conditions here, COVID-19 conditions here, still we are used to that now. So internet has become the one and only option we had, and now also it's a very, very comprehensive resource we have. You have to think this internet as a resource for you to get something, to learn something. How many of you know even you can access Stanford University materials? Stanford is one of the leading universities in the world, right? When we search about IT, when we search about cybersecurity or like even artificial intelligence, they are the leading university in the world. So, but their materials are freely available in the internet. So people are migrating. When I ask the youngsters, they say, right, so we have to get good quality education. That's why we are migrating. That may be falsified information, according to my experience. If you could watch something produced in Hollywood, if you could watch something produced if you can watch a movie, or if you can watch a cricket match that's happening in some other countries live, right? I don't know why we are migrating to another place and learning something. That's not the reason. That's not the reason. Education, migrating for education is not the reason because of the internet resources we have. Even we can get into some materials. Every material is available. If the time permits, I'll show you. So what I'm trying to say is these internet resources are very important. At the same time, we are depending on internet for everything. It's healthy. If it's healthy, if and only if you know the security side of internet as well. You can freely walk, you can freely take a vehicle and have a drive if you are so sure about the security or road safety rules in the road. Likewise, in the internet, it's all about that. So now everyone, even parents, they have to know about this road safety, likewise, for internet security, to surf internet well, not to pursue a career in cyber or not to focus on a job market, right? It's an essential thing for everyone uses internet. You're all eligible to use internet because you're all eligible to learn cybersecurity because you are using internet. So today, my intention is to teach you new trends in cybersecurity, but I thought of first introducing what is cybersecurity. One of the most important sections in cybersecurity, there are two things: offensive security and defensive security. Offensive security is, I'll come to this later. Defensive security is all about how we can safeguard ourselves, how we can protect ourselves. What is offensive security? Have you heard about a firewall? Have you heard about antivirus software? Security systems that you have? Those are coming under defensive. We know how to protect ourselves. We should have an antivirus software in the computer. At least we should have a firewall inbuilt. Then we are safe. That is defensive. Like you have a strong gate, very strong door, a perfect lock. a facial recognition based door. Whenever you show your face, only the door opens, kind of. These are defensive security. Then the other component is offensive security, something where the students are pulled for this. That is, we understand the mindset of a hacker. In other words, we learn how to hack. Why? That is offensive, no. That's not a good thing, no. How many of us are saying hacking is good? No, hacking is illegal. Then why we should learn hacking? I'll give you a simple example. Why policemen should know about thief? What's the intention? To become another thief? No, right? They understand the latest technologies and tools used by these thieves and robbers to better, what? Detect and catch them in the right place. The technologies or tools and techniques used by a thief in 2000 or in 1990s won't be the tools and techniques used by today modern thief, robbers. So learning this technology, what modern techniques, different strategies this thief uses, is not to become a thief, to better defend. Am I correct? So that's why we learn ethical hacking as part of offensive security. We learned the hacker's mindset, what hackers would do, what different technologies hackers uses, how hackers are, what type of hackers, what are the symptoms we get when we are hacked, right? At any time we can get some information, right? All these information, the knowledge is what matters. So first, what is cybersecurity, right? I have told, right, it's protecting ourselves from internet. Not protecting internet. People have thought like protecting internet. No, protecting ourselves from internet. How we can safeguard? You're not protecting the road. You're protecting yourself from road problems, right? And here you can see common cyber problems. Malware. Malware is actually a software which does some bad things. The intention is bad, but the same way a software produced. A software and malware, what is the difference? Software, also you get the requirement produced by a software engineer. Malware also produced by a software engineer, but the intention is bad. The malware does something bad, software does something good, right? So malware is actually a threat, right? And phishing. Have you heard about a common cyber problem, phishing? Normally they send you emails. One day when I was in a lecture, my father fussed me. He was calling me and said, right, hey, we have won a lottery. Just fill this information. This is from Coca-Cola company. We have won a lottery. So they're asking our personal information. He's forcing me to fill that. So I had no time to explain him about phishing and all that. That time I just quit the phone, right? And one day, right? So this is phishing. Any idea about any experience with getting a phishing email? You get an email asking you to click something that could lead you to do some problematic things, right? The main intention is to get your personal information, or else they want to run something in your computer. They want your interaction, so they make you to click something. So there's a nice drama behind the email there, right? That is phishing. Ransomware, have you all heard about it? To understand this, you have to know about encryption. How many of you know about encryption? You have learned it right now. If I say something called Caesar cipher is all about shifting the characters by 3 letters. So if you want to shift if there's a word called apple, if you just say apple, anyone could understand. But if you want to hide the meaning of the apple, what do? You shift the alphabet by 3 letters to the right. So instead of A, you're going to replace it using what? A, 3 shift, right? B, C, D. So A becomes D now, P becomes S now, another P becomes S now, L becomes O now, E becomes H now. What is that? DSSOH. That's meaningless. If you say DSSOH, no one gets that. But we know the hidden word is apple. We can reverse it by shifting it to the other side. So that is encryption, making it something meaningful. So what is most important part there? There are 2 things. One is plain text, where you have some meaning. Once you shift it, that becomes hypertext, where there's no meaning. But this is shifted based on a key, right? What is the key? Shifting it by 3 letters. If a person knows this has been shifted by 3 letters, they can reverse it and get it. That is encryption. Without the key, there's no way. That concept is what we call encryption. Ransomware, you know what happens? They get into a computer and encrypt the entire computer. Let's say how many of you, many of you are studying, or maybe many of you are business people, right? You have a valid contract to be signed tomorrow. You have crafted your contract. Or let's say you are doing a very valuable assignment. Or let's say tomorrow is your A-level exam. Today, you got a very nice note, but that note is hacked by a hacker and now encrypted. It's in meaningless words now, like DSSOH. How to decrypt it? How to get the thing? You have to have the key for that. It's like locking a door and hiding the key. I have put you in a place, lock the door, and hiding the key now. Whenever you ask for the key, what I'm asking, hey, I'll give you, you just pay me this money, I'll give you the key. That is ransomware attack. Very common cyber attack in the world. And if I were to speak about new trends in cybersecurity, you have to know about ransomware. That's one of the biggest threat. And a very easy attack to be conducted. So when you're surfing internet, when you're clicking unnecessary links, when you're visiting some unknown websites, whenever you get an email, you just click it. It can be a ransomware which could encrypt entire document, entire laptop, and demand for a ransom now. Yes, it has been popular, very popular. Another cyber attack is people are not focusing on this social engineering. How can we trick people? Social engineering is a very professional term for tricking people, right? There are plenty of examples for social engineering, right? Impersonating like someone else, right? This is one of the popular cyber attacks. We are targeting on human, not systems. To be frank, there are 4 things, right? One is systems, as you can say, a computer, right? Another one is we call protocols. Protocol is the way we work with some computer. There are protocols. And the third thing is there's something called configuration. We do the configurations on something. And the fourth element is users of the computer. A computer, we need to have hardware and software. And the software should be configured properly. And we should have protocols to communicate and do the task. And as well as, ultimately, we are the users of the computer. So if a hacker wants to get into or get the control of us, they would target one of this. Either they try to hack the computer or try to hack the user of the computer. So hacking a computer is system hacking. Hacking the use of the computer is social engineering. How can I trick a user to do something? So have you all heard about password cracking and all? I can crack the password. For that, I have to be a proper system hacker. But rather than cracking this, why can't I trick the user and get the password from him? I can put that user into a situation. I can threat them with the personal information. I can, force them. Even through a ransomware, I can get the password. So that is tricking, playing the user's emotions. So that is social engineering. Insider threat is, right, we are always thinking outsiders are bad, but there can be insiders also in an organization who can work for some other organization. Have you heard about spies and all? So that is we call insider threats. So these are some popular cyber problems you get. Here, the role of why we have to learn cybersecurity, you guys know, I told you good examples, like since we all have to know about road safety. Likewise, we have to use, since we are using the internet, we also have to know about internet safety. Right. So why we have to learn ethical hacking? I told you the reason, to understand hackers' mindset, how hackers work, right? If you look at this, these are the 5 steps hackers used to follow up. If a hacker wants to get into a computer, not only a computer, a mobile phone or anything, they have a systematic process. The first thing is they collect information about you. What do you mean by collecting information? Then the first question comes, are we revealing information? Are we providing information for no money? Yes, of course. I'll give you a simple example. How many of you have social media accounts like Facebook? You become the, right, non-paid entertainers in the world. Am I correct? You're entertaining people for no money, isn't it? You're posting a poster, or you're putting a picture, you're changing the profile pictures, you're trying to say everything happens in your life to Mark Zuckerberg. Who is Mark Zuckerberg? The inventor of Facebook, for no money. Why are you all doing this? That's a big question, right? So today I'm going to go for a trip. The first thing I do is take a selfie. Hey, I'm going for a trip. It's a very long time plan, and entire family is going for a trip. you post it. Sometimes people share the locations also. Even every city you go, let's say you are going for a trip from Colombo to Matale or somewhere, every location you are sharing. So even when you are having a tea also here, this is the first tea we are going to have. Why? If Facebook is, recording everything and, sponsoring you for the trip, you can do this, right? You can you can introduce everything to Mark Zuckerberg, who invented Facebook. So while giving all your sensitive information, which can be a problem in the future for you, how this can be a problem? The first stage of hacker is what? Recon. They gather information. Where they gather information? Through your social media. We call social profiling. They gather almost every information that you have published in the social media. That's the first place. Is it illegal gathering information from social media? No. Social media is social, right? Anyone can access it. What is the biggest security in Facebook? Are you all using Facebook? I think there's an option called only to you, right? If you post something, you can place it to only to you. That's not only to you, man. That is only to you and Mark Zuckerberg. Isn't it? How that can be only to you? So if you want to keep something only to you, why can't you keep it in a pen drive? So that option is actually a not good option for social media. Social media means you have to, share things with someone else, right? Isn't it? So only to me is not a good option for me. So what is the second highest option, second option that you have? Only to friends only. Only the friends can see this. Only your friends can see your data in the social profile. So a hacker, what they want to do? To become your friend to access whatever you have in the Facebook, isn't it? So that's the highest level of security. So becoming a friend of you. So when you're getting a friend request, we have got friend requests, right? From people. How do you verify it? I told you the hackers are always targeting. One more thing. There are, in 2012 or 13, there was a survey. The survey findings told us there are 5,000 Shah Rukh Khan's profiles. I don't know whether the actual Shah Rukh Khan has a profile. But there are other Shah Rukh Khans, we call fake Shah Rukh Khans, who are in Shah Rukh Khan's name. There can be 5,000 cricketers. I mean, there can be 5,000 Sachin Tendulkars. There can be 5,000 Virat Kohli. There can be 5,000 Kumar Sangakaras. So whenever you are getting a friend request from your friend, how do you verify it? The reason is you should verify it. Why? Because when they become a friend, if it's a fake friend, they can go through your entire social media profile and get through it. So how are you going to verify it? You don't verify, right? What are the things you use to verify a friend request? You look into the profile picture. You look into the coverage picture. This is that guy. So let's say I want to make a fake account like it. Within 5 minutes I can make. I need only 2 pictures, isn't it? One is your profile picture where in the internet, if I know your name is public, no, I can know your name. What's your name? Yeah, you're telling it. So now I know your name. I can search in the internet, get 2 pictures of you. I know about you. I know your appearance. I take 2 pictures. One, you're alone. You're busy with some working or kind of like. Another one is in a party. You're just, with your friends. So I put that in the cover page, a background, drop. I put this, your serious picture in the profile picture and send a friend request to everyone. Can't I do this? So I know where you're studying, right? For example, I can ask that now. In the evening, I can send a Facebook request to all colleagues who have studied in your school. After 5 years, I'm getting a friend request from my old friend. Oh my God, I'm accepting it. Once I accept it, I'm ready to lose my entire information because social media has every information of mine. So the thing I'm telling to you is something called social profiling. Don't let anyone to profile you. You're giving unnecessary information through social media. Then you might ask why you are having social media. To hack others. To get information about others. Whatever I have in my social media. How many of you are thinking social media account is so serious thing? People are giving you jobs based on social media profile? No, right? That's not taken as a very serious thing, right? But LinkedIn is very serious. People are taking it. For me, I don't even take LinkedIn as a serious thing. It's also coming under social media. WhatsApp is social media. LinkedIn is social media. We are only blaming Facebook for this. Everything is social media. But Facebook, LinkedIn is more dangerous than social media. Why? This Facebook, why? Facebook is not treated as so serious app, but LinkedIn is so serious. If I want to get everything, every technical thing about you, I can just, a matter of, being a LinkedIn, I can get into a circle and get every information of you and impersonate you as nothing. Am I correct? So, that is the recon. So, since I know hacker's mindset only, I know how valuable this information for a hacker. For during our time, knowing a phone number is not a big deal. We share the phone number, but now the phone number has become the most sensitive information and starter for any cyber issues in the world. If I know your phone number, I can use Truecaller and get your name. If I know your name, right, I search in the internet and get 2 photos of you. One is at the background, one is on the profile. By creating within 5 minutes, I can create a fake account like you. And if I search your LinkedIn profile, I can get your information about where are you working in every place and your friend circle. It's just a matter of a social media campaign to get more friends. Could you remember when we were studying, right, there was a system to take when we want to reload something. There's a system to take a phone number and we have to note down the amount. Even I have done that. After I became a cybersecurity person only, I know, right, how dangerous is that. One day I went to, like, there was a, when I was teaching in one of the private institution, in front of it there was a communication shop where all the students would take printouts and do the reloads and all. That shop was very popular at that time. So there always we could find a big queue, right? A very big queue to reload, to recharge their phone number, phone account. So one day what I did, like all these, especially the girls are writing their numbers and the amount. Number, amount, number, amount, number, amount. Then I just raised my phone. I pretended like, I'm also going to recharge something. I raised my phone. I could see the entire page and actually took a click of it. Now what's the big deal? I have nearly 30 or 35 youngsters' phone number, verified phone number. Using those 30 phone numbers, if I search in the Truecaller, I can get their names. I'm pretty sure they are SLIIT students because I was teaching at SLIIT at that time. So, just a campaign of, getting more info. I can create social profiles and make it. The rest of the drama is you can imagine. I don't want to emphasize a lot. Why not? Very, very true. And also, since one of your colleagues, now you're telling me about WhatsApp, I'll tell you another dangerousness in WhatsApp. Now they have stopped it. Whenever you get a WhatsApp, whenever you get an image, earlier it automatically downloaded, right? Isn't it? Now they are asking for a permission, whether it's in a blurred way. They wanted us to click something, download only, it downloads. How many of you know the previous option is very dangerous? You can have an image. I'll tell you, this is not a joke, and also I can't explain the underlying thing perfectly. I can take an image, right? I can hide a software into that, we call exploit, or we call payload. It looks like an image for you. When you click, it executes. When the moment it loads the image for you, it's just an image for you, but I get your connection. I get your control of your mobile phone. That's how most of the youngsters lose their sensitive information. That's the major reason for loss of cyberbullying. That's the main reason where many youngsters are getting suicide, they attempt to suicide and all without any reasons. During our time, it's a very sensitive topic, don't misunderstand me. During our time, when someone is committing suicide, we know the history for that. We know the reason for that. But now we have no idea. Even the parents have no clue. This guy was really happy. He just went to a room, closed the door. We thought like he's sleeping. Suddenly committed it. Isn't it? Isn't it? Even we have no clue. Maybe someone is threatening the person using one of the sensitive images. How many of y'all have a habit of sleeping with your mobile phone? How many of y'all switching on your data and sleeping? There are two concerns. One is switching on your data and sleeping means when your phone is about to die, it's going to contact the tower in every 5 seconds. So the signal strength is so huge. So it's not good for your health. Second thing is, When you're switching on your data and sleeping, like, it's very much related to you're driving in a highway in 100 kilometer per hour by sleeping. Are you getting me? Switching on the data means what? Connecting to the one of the biggest highway in the world. What is that? Internet. If you can access Facebook, if Facebook can access you, why can't a hacker can access you? Can, right? So you are just traveling on a road, a highway, and you're sleeping. So you could feel the same dangerousness when you're switching on your data and sleeping it. So when you switch on your data, right, if something has happened, I told you now, one has clicked the WhatsApp and someone is having some control on the mobile phone, they can switch on your webcam or your camera remotely and take a snapshot of you while you're sleeping. Sorry, sir? I'll come to that. There's nothing called like that, sir. There are different marketing done behind some costliest phone. But safety is all about how we use internet. Sorry? Yeah, exactly. The safest phone in the world is where we couldn't connect to the internet. It's the safest phone in the world. Others are marketing it in a different way. I'll come to this. I don't know whether it could be discussed here. The popular phones are like, we speak about Android phones and iOS, Apple phones. I don't want to get into that discussion. I'll have a private conversation with you, right? And tell you, ultimately, everything is same. They are marketing in a different way, right? But I don't think so. The different brands can give you security. It's all about how you handle it, right? So that's the first phase. So why hackers are so keen on getting your public information? The reason is by gathering loads of information. I'll give you a simple example. Your parents always say, don't speak too much with someone. When you speak too much, what's the problem? We reveal loads of information without our consciousness. Sometimes those information can be used to find our weaknesses. Our weaknesses can be exposed when you deal with a person for a long time, when you keep on chatting, or explaining something like discussing. Your weaknesses will be revealed. So the reason why hackers also gathering all your public information is to identify your weakness. So that is what we call scanning. Scanning is the second phase by a hacker. They use to identify your critical weakness, one of the weakness which can put you in trouble. So through the weakness, they gain access. They get into a system, right? By getting into the system, they stay in the system for a long time. They maintain the access there for a long time. And they do whatever they want, collect whatever they want, and they get rid of it without having any evidence. We call covering tracks. So Recon is all about collecting information, through the information scanning for weaknesses, finding a critical weakness and exploiting you through that weakness and get your control. By getting your control, then they can do whatever their intention, either to get some very sensitive information from your computer, or to hack your computer, or like put your computer totally down, or collect some very valuable information from your computer and get maybe their intention. Then finally, they are not doing any charity or good work here. It's a crime. They have to erase all the evidence and get out. So these are the 5 phases that you could see here. So I have no time to demonstrate it, but I could demonstrate, right? Whenever I get a chance of like 2-3 hours for a workshop, I can show it to you how a hacker does and get into your mobile phone. There's something called mobile hacking. It's not a big deal. So the techniques, the reason why we learn hacking is not to hack. Now we know, right, how hackers work. One of these stages, if you are so good at stopping that, hackers cannot proceed. If we can stop others getting our information, if you are not publishing everything in the social media, then hackers cannot go with the rest of the phases, right? Isn't it? So that's the first phase. That's why we are learning about this, the 5 phases, right? And here, these are some tasks done by offensive security people. It can be good or bad. One is penetration testing. One of the job roles we have for offensive security people who behaves like hackers, these are ethical. So these people are hired for a company to test whether their companies have security problems. Why? They have been paid a lot. They are hired to hack the system officially. Why they are asking? It's like they are finding problems in it. Before hackers find them, they are going to patch those problems. So those role, that job role is we call pen testers, penetration testers. One of the highly paid jobs when it comes to cybersecurity. And there's something called social engineering or social engineers, right? If you are really interested, there's a video called DEF CON. So have a look on social engineering. So they teach you how different techniques used to trick human, right? So vulnerability scanning is all about finding the loopholes in the finding the this problems or your weaknesses. So there's a different job role called vulnerability scanning, and some popular tools that you guys have to be so good at. Kali Linux. Have you all heard about Linux? But Kali Linux is a specialized tool where we have loads of hacking tools in it. Every tool is freely available. So these are some different tasks as an offensive security person ethically do. So right, let's get into the emerging trends of cybersecurity. What? Now you got some understanding about the basic of cyber. The intention of today's session is to teach you emerging trends in cybersecurity, right? As you could see, what you can see at the first one is artificial intelligence and machine learning, AI. The reason is, now you are using AI for everything, ChatGPT, right? How many people have used ChatGPT? Even when I'm buying a car, right, I have to sold my old car. I'm confused with a price to be fixed. I gave my entire information about the car, and it predicted the perfect price for me. And that is the marketing price. You don't believe? On the very next day, someone came and took the car. So it picks the right price also. It has loads of information, right? It has to predict, right? And it answers our question perfect. So everyone is using. So people are worried like, hey, even a software can be made within few minutes. Earlier, to develop a software, right, we have to gather information, gather requirements from the client. If I want to make a software for you, I have to know what you exactly wanted. I can't just say, dictate to you like this is the best, take it. A good software engineer should know the requirements. Now it's just a matter of getting the right requirements and feed it to the ChatGPT. For an example, they can give you a nice coding. Even I have done this, right? So now why I'm introducing AI here? In cybersecurity also, right, hackers are using AI tools and techniques now. There are different ways hackers use it. You have to know AI to combat AI-related cyber attacks. So for example, I don't know whether you have some experience with phishing. When you are getting a phishing email, right, now they are using AI to generate a very attractive phishing email, very connected phishing email to you. Today I'm conducting a session for you, right? And many of you are seeing that the door is open. Many of you are taking photos. It could be published in somewhere else today. So from that, they would understand, right? This person attended Mr. Krishna's session, right? Isn't it? Getting that information is not a big deal. Today evening, right, you are getting an email from Krishna, right, saying that, hi, I know your name also. I ask your name also. So this conversation can be heard by many people. So let's say there's an outsider who is hearing the entire conversation and a name here, and they know that it's published everywhere in the Facebook that I'm doing a session now. So today evening, you are getting an email, right? Hi, you attended my session, perfect session. It was in cybersecurity. So I know you want the slides I used. Can you just click this link and download the slide? What do you think? You click that. Why? It's personally connected to you. It tells some personal information of you. It tells you that you attended this session. But unfortunately, this information is not a big deal for a third person to collect. Just a matter of standing here, just a matter of going into an EDEX Facebook webpage and seeing all this information, isn't it? So be careful about it, right? So that's the beauty of this AI. AI can give you a very connected, it can even collect your personal information, and it can even come up with a very connected email for you. Since you are exposing every information of you in the social media, As a hacker, I can collect all this information from the social media by being a friend of you and feed it to an AI and come up with a very connected email that makes you to click whatever I want you. When the moment you click, the problem starts. Are you getting it? So that is AI based. You're using AI techniques to cyber attacks, attack someone, then you should know AI to detect cyber attacks. Zero trust architecture may be so technical. The modern trend is, right, we don't believe anyone. In internet, without verifying any sources, don't get into them. Zero trust architecture, we call ZTA, right? And the third one is cloud security. Have you heard about cloud computing, right? If you want to get a computer now for your small assignment, don't waste your money on purchasing a computer. You can get the cloud. You can hire a computer. Hiring a computer is what we call cloud computers. They are logical computers for you. You can do the work, but you need internet for this. You can do your work and then quit the service. You're getting a service. Let's say, right, you want to study artificial intelligence. For that, you need to have a very powerful computer, right? You can't run these algorithms in a normal computer. But this is only for you for one assignment, for an example. Let's say you pick cybersecurity, there's an assignment on AI for this. To do that assignment, you need a very powerful computer, which is going to cost you sometimes 10 million sometimes. A very powerful computer you need. Are you going to buy that? Only for that assignment? So what's the choice? You have to hire. Yes, you can hire a computer in the internet by giving you a spec. And you're going to pay that for the usage only. If you're using for 1 week, you have to pay this much of amount. If you're using for 2 weeks, you have to pay. Is actually based on a service. That is cloud computers. But unfortunately, this cloud computer access through what? Internet. So cloud security has become a biggest question now. How we're going to protect our online computers from these internet problems. So that is one of the new trends. And finally, I started with this cyber attack called ransomware, which can put your system completely down by just encrypting it, right? I gave you a simple example about CISA cipher, right? How it can shift and make a readable information into an unreadable format. It can completely put your entire disk or entire information in your computer, which might be valuable for a businessman or maybe a very valuable one for a student who is going to submit their final submission, right? The entire document can be encrypted, and now it's demanding for the key. Hey, I'll give you the key, you have to pay this amount. How are you going to pay this amount? Through what? Cryptocurrencies. Why cryptocurrencies are used? Because it's difficult to track. So people have, so if you are really interested on that, search about a ransomware called WannaCry. That made many people cry. That's why the name. WannaCry, do you want to cry by clicking this? Yes, people cried. There was 1 billion loss for the entire company. Not the company, entire world incurred nearly 1 billion loss because of this WannaCry ransomware. It encrypted almost everything and asking for a ransom. So what do you think the solution for ransomware? Paying the ransom? How many people think paying the ransom, they would return you the key? If they are not returning you the key, what is your next move? Are you going to complain to the police or no, right? Because you have no evidence. And do you expect these people are honest people, right? No, not at all. If they are so honest, they don't even think about, encrypting your documents. So what FBI says, paying ransom is not the solution. But people, because they are very sensitive information, maybe they are 5 years of hard work, they're going to submit it to start a job, start a business, but ultimately that document got encrypted. So they would pay, but the best option is not, it's a proactive thing. What is the solution? You have to have backups. For everything that you do, you should have solid backups. But the new trend in cybersecurity, new trend in ransomware is, they first find your backup and encrypt. You don't believe. They first encrypt your backup, then come to the normal situation, normal information. So it's actually a never ending battle between good and bad. So there's no stop for cybersecurity. Though any technology comes to this world, there's an additional part called what? Securing that technology. AI security. Cloud security. IoT security. IoT is very simple to implement. What is the most problematic part in IoT? IoT security. IoT is still in the books in many countries because of this security part. So there's no stop for learning cybersecurity, right? And as you could see, these are the new trends. I don't want to further get into this and explain, and sometimes you want, you are just, I'm introducing the modules. If you're really interested, just note down these terms and have a search, right? The future of cybersecurity, quantum computing, have you all heard about it? It's still in the books, right? And there are some inventions by Google and all, right, on quantum computing. I couldn't remember the chip based on quantum computing. The problem for modern cybersecurity solutions, right? How many of y'all are using internet for accessing bank sites and all, right? So you need a big security, right? There should be a very solid security. The entire security is currently happening through some mathematics. We call prime number theory and something else. Without knowing that mathematics, you can't even come up with a perfect cyber system to protect your entire conversation happening through internet and between your bank and the app. So that math-based security can be broken by the quantum computing. Quantum computing can, decrypt or break a security within few seconds, right? So then we have to focus on quantum resistant security solutions. How we can combat quantum computing to come with a better security solution is an upcoming research topic. And also IoT, I told you just now. IoT, how many of you heard about IoT, Internet of Healthcare things? How many of you have heard about pacemaker? Pacemaker, what is the role of pacemaker? Normally, after a heart surgery, they implant this device called pacemaker, which can boost your heart when it's weak. So normally, these surgeries are done by some foreign hospitals, right? All these politicians also go to Singapore and have this surgery and come, the pacemaker. But how many of you know this pacemaker has become an IoT device? What is IoT? This pacemaker can be connected to internet. They can do remote patient monitoring. Remote patient monitoring means from Singapore, one can get into the pacemaker of their patient and see the status of it. It's a good thing, right? We call remote patient monitoring. The person doesn't they don't want to go to Singapore every time and waste money. Remote patient monitoring through internet. What is the bad thing? If that doctor can access the pacemaker of this patient, why can't I hack if I know how to do that? So that is the difficult part of this IoT, Internet of Healthcare things. Even surgeries are automated now. Not automated, surgeries are remotely conducted. During COVID-19 period, the remote consultations were very popular. So all these things happening through internet, but IoT devices are very weak devices. They are not no more your computers. They don't have powerful system to come up with powerful security. So they are so weak, but they are dealing with loads of sensitive information. The most sensitive information in the world is what? What do you think? Healthcare information, your patient records. Your patient's record has a big value than you think in the dark web. So people, the hackers, they always focus on targeting hospitals to gather your sensitive information. Why? They can sell this in the dark web. So if I know your patient record, I know your health status, that information would be more valuable for a pharmaceutical company, right? Isn't it? When the moment they know that, I have a very chronic disease, very, very chronic disease, then it's a good value for a pharmaceutical company, right? Isn't it? They can target, they can do a segment marketing, right? Isn't it? So there's a huge demand for your personal records in the dark web. So IoT is a good example, right? I told you about pacemaker, how this pacemaker has become an IoT. There's a good thing as well as bad thing in it. So IoT security has become more challenging, how we can even protect a device where we could run tough security algorithms because they are battery dependent devices. Normally the lifetime of a pacemaker is 15 years. If we want to fuss that pacemaker by running some encryption and all these difficult security solution, firewall into that, it would die quickly. Then you have to replace the battery every 5 years. So that's the problem we have in IoT. Are you getting it? Right. So then the regulations, like, there are regulations like HIPAA, ISO 27K. These regulations are there and followed by companies to, protect customer information. When it comes to hospital, they are so good at a regulation called HIPAA. HIPAA, if you are if they are into HIPAA, if an hospital is into HIPAA, they have to protect your information perfectly. Otherwise, they have to pay penalty. So these are the future cybersecurity. So that's the conclusion for you, right here. Learn cybersecurity, not to, right, get a good job in cybersecurity and earn, but to safeguard your valuable information, because you all are using internet a lot than your previous generation. Understand the hackers move, not to hack, but to safeguard from hackers. To understand how hackers work is going to help us to protect perfectly from their moves. And prepare the future. That's why we learn new trends. What is the cybersecurity is heading to? And finally, establish a cybersecurity culture. A culture is we are practicing cyber, not just learning and just trying to pass an exam. We all have to practice cybersecurity. Practicing what makes things perfect, as well as the cybersecurity education is not just to get a good job, but to safeguard, because we all are totally depend on internet for your basic needs as well. So by saying that, thank you very much for attending today's session. I hope, right, you have to understand my side, because half an hour is given. I have to teach you the entire cybersecurity. So if I just boast you about cyber attacks and all, you would be attacked, right? That's why I was so into the basics, and I just gave some insight into how hackers work, and just explain about popular cyber attacks as well as the new trends about cyber attacks. So hopefully it would be a very productive session, I think so, right? If you have any questions in cyber or whatever I covered, you can ask, or else we can wind up. Thank you. Yes, superb. So if you want, it's a Hollywood movie, Catch Me If You Can. Very old movie from Leonardo DiCaprio's movie, a popular one, right? Have a watch if you want to understand social engineering perfectly. That guy is simply using some human tricking techniques to do whatever he or she wants to do. So Catch Me If You Can was so, actually it made social engineering come to the limelight. Sorry? It's into social engineering. That can be a good starter. There are plenty of movies and plenty of web series, right? For the moment, because I'm not a big fan of, I'm not getting into any movies, but I'm more into a technical thing. But you can find plenty of movies in the internet. iRobot is one of the movies, even I have heard about it, but I haven't watched. Yes, yes. Now, we can't hide anymore. We don't want to treat them as something very difficult things to with the technologies. Now, even you can simply ask ChatGPT how to hack a system, right? But it won't answer you at the first instance. But you have to say in an ethical way, if you keep on asking, like, I am a cybersecurity lecturer, I want my students to teach cybersecurity, that's why I'm learning, it would answer. But the answers are perfect. Every step is accurate. If you just follow that step, you can put a system down. So, but you have to have the base of Linux and some operating system knowledge, some common sense, as well as some cybersecurity knowledge to get those commands and move on. Yeah. But learning cybersecurity is nothing. Any question? Anything? Sorry, sir? Yeah. Anyone can do. So it's like this, right? We don't want to depend on anything else. If you are so sure of any problems, now you can stand, right, with, you're so sure that you're so secure, you're so healthy, you can get into any place, right, isn't it? I'm not talking about correcting others. I'm talking about how well you can be stronger and stronger day by day to get into the problems. Now, for example, this COVID-19 thing, it was targeting, what do you call it? Immune system. If your immune system is weak, you would be easily put down by the COVID-19, isn't it? So what is the solution? To kill COVID-19 or boost your immune system? What is in your control? Simple as that. So now I taught you how to boost your immune system, how to boost your cybersecurity knowledge to safeguard yourself, rather than, finding hackers or like penalizing them or like punishing them or correcting the world. That's not in our control. But our information should be in our control. Isn't it? Right. So did I answer your question? Right. Anything? Then, yes.
I am currently following data science and AI. So in Sri Lanka, how the job opportunities related to cyber and AI?
Cyber, there's nothing called Sri Lankan market. There's nothing called a university market. It's an international market. That's why I started with an example called Stanford University Materials. So there's nothing called Sri Lankan cybersecurity. Because when we talk about something regarding internet, we are already international people, isn't it? If you are watching, if you are connecting to Facebook, means we are interacting with Facebook without any visa. We are traveling. Our information is traveling to USA and getting back. You have to understand that. So cyber means international, right? We have to cater the international market. You don't want to confine yourself to be Sri Lanka and perform. Anyway, if you are a well-educated, where you have all the necessary basics to think like a cyber person, you can get any type of job. Now, every company in Sri Lanka has a cybersecurity unit now, because information is the wealth. The most wealthiest information in modern world is what? Your information. The wealthiest resource in the world is information. So every company has their company secrets. Every information should be protected. They can't avoid using internet because internet is a big job opening for them, big market for them. So anyway, they have to have a security team to protect their internet conversations. Did I answer your questions? Yes, you have plenty of opportunities if you are capable. Any question? Anything?
Available. Any certification courses available?
Certification courses, right? First of all, right, with the ChatGPT, right? First learn the basics. You can get it. I'll guarantee for that. You can learn. After that, if you want to showcase yourself, the first certification that you can target is, right, CCNA. The reason is when you learn CCNA, a simple example. Am I taking too much of time? So the simple thing is, we are just speaking about cyber security. Cyber is internet security. First of all, we have to know how internet works, isn't it? If you want to protect your home, first you have to have a home. Home security can only be taught when there's a home for you. So kind of like internet is networking ultimately. So do a networking certification first to understand about internet, then do a certification into cyber like CH, Certified Ethical Hacker. So first do CCNA to get some idea, or else, right, you can even self-study and get a very solid base on how internet works. That is networking. We call network engineering. Okay. Sir?
Now, I would like to know the first foundation, IT foundation. Through that, if you get your degree, or it's better to study the A-level and get the degree, because when you go job hunting, the companies give first preference to the person who qualified with the A-level or else the foundation.
Actually, to be frank, it's a very honest and very powerful question to be answered. The reason is, sir, it's not all about the level of knowledge you gain through A-levels and O-levels. We'll put that to a side. A-levels and O-levels, going through O-levels, going through A-levels, right? A person who could pass O-levels and A-levels, we can't question their knowledge. We can question one thing. What is that? Discipline. They can sit in a place and work. They can do self-studies. They are so disciplined. So such people are given priority because the industry also needs such people who are disciplined in their work. So I do want to remind you, like for example, I did mathematics for my A-levels, right? In that case, right, I don't want any reminders to study, because if my father or mother wanted me to, every time set an alarm and wake up I don't want to do that because in that way it's not going to help. So a person is just passing A-level means he or she has some discipline to do a complete something. So that is what communicated to the industry, but nothing into the knowledge. Even a foundation student who hasn't done anything on A-level, but is so interested on something, he can get the right base and move on. But that gives an indication, especially in Sri Lankan education. Sri Lankan A-level is a big barrier. Even London A-level has a big barrier. If they can go through that hassle means, that gives a different impression about those people, that they are so patient and they can sit in a place and work. But yeah, more matured, more responsible. Yeah. That's the reason. Yeah.
I know that the question is really useful and explained well. I recommend future doing like some workshop like two-day program like this subject. It's very neat. Yeah.
That's up to the organizing committee, right? Yes, we can do, and even 1 hour is enough for us to demonstrate whatever I said. You might have think, right, this guy is good at just telling few things, but he is not good at this. But yes, I have necessary tools and techniques, but this is not the right audience to do this, right? They have to have a basic to understand, value something, right? So now I think you have the right base to get whatever that would be in the future. Yes, so we are open to that. We can do anything. Yeah, if you're really interested, the committee is organizing something like yes, we can do. Yeah. Okay. Is it fine? Yes, I'll end.
Yeah, thank you, Mr. Krishnadeva. Nice having you again also. So thanks for the questions. It was a interactive session, like even at the end of the day, good points, technical points, and interesting. So this concludes the first day of events, and hopefully second day is starting 9:30 tomorrow. So yeah, you can scan this QR code. This is for the draw. You can win a prize. Schedule, yes. For the second day, this schedule is on the board. You can check the lectures. That is also starting 9:30. So hopefully, see you tomorrow. Thank you.